This is the Amp Hour Podcast, recorded February 1st, 2011. Episode 28, Bowie and the Brown Note.
Welcome to the Amp Hour. I'm Dave Jones from the EEV blog.
And I'm Chris Gamble from Chris Gamble's Analog Life.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Dave.
What are we up to? Number 28 or something?
28.
28 with a bullet.
With a bullet.
All right. What's happening in your neck of the woods?
555 contest. That is what is
Coming
up.
out your eyeballs,
That's
huh?
right, yeah. I'm getting
Right.
really excited. I tweeted about it the other day, but I was talking to a friend about his contest entry, which I won't be judging, of course.
Right.
But what he's planning, I am already amazed, and that's one person. That's the first person I've talked to. So I'm getting very excited for it.
Amazed, huh? Amazed in its complexity or in its elegant simplicity?
Complexity, for sure. It's
Complexity, right. Okay.
It's almost to the point of obfuscation, where, it's just like
okay.
he's using it for unnecessary things, but just to get more in there. It's pretty great. And
Right.
And then I saw someone else on Twitter today say they just got 300 555s in. They ordered them. And I'm just trying to imagine what the hell they're going to use them for. So
300.
Yeah.
Well, I found out that I've got to order some more too, because I actually was playing around with the 555 last night.
Yeah.
It was 36.5 degrees out there in the lab, but I went out there anyway, and
Toughed it out, huh?
Vero-boarded a little idea I had. Not that I'm going to enter, but I might do a video on it.
yeah, that'd be great.
And I had this idea, and I put it together, and it didn't quite work the way I intended, but the result was unexpected anyway. It was quite novel and unexpected. But, I'm not going to give any details away, but I'm going to have to get a few other flavours of 555. And, the first one I used must have been 30 years old. In the true spirit of this,
Wow.
It had the legs bent, it was desoldered from something.
Yes.
Oh, man,
That is
it was
awesome.
like
That
the
is awesome.
crusty, it was the original Signetics 555.
Was it?
And it was,
Oh, man.
yeah. Actually, I have to have a look at the day code. It's probably not that bad.
I saw someone.
It's probably not that
Someone
old.
posted about that on Twitter. They asked if they get extra points for having a 78 date code. Like
A 78. I reckon you would. If I was a judge, I would have to give bonus points for having a 78 day
yeah,
code.
that's wow. That's pretty great.
I could rush out to the lab now and actually get the chip, but it's radio.
That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, I keep getting questions about it too. I mean, I'm going to clear it up on the site too. But any flavor is okay. So if people listening are thinking about entering, I keep getting questions about 7555, which is the CMOS version,
yeah.
and then
and 558, the quad one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
556, 558, all those.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ah, boy.
And then the guys over at Let's Talk Geek, they were talking about it too. They
Everyone's talking about it.
I know.
It's all happening.
I know. Yeah. Jerry even said she's been getting questions. She's out at DesignCon, so she's been getting questions about it too. So hopefully some more exciting news coming out soon. We'll see.
Oh, she's actually at DesignCon, is she?
Yep.
Is she covering, let me guess, she's covering that for Element 14?
No. No. She's just there for the sessions.
Okay, she's just there for the kicks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
On her own accord? All right.
Yeah, it looked like pretty good lineup. I don't know. Have you ever looked at the lineup for that before?
I've been to it once before, but I haven't looked this
okay.
year. I've physically been to DesignCon before, but no, who's there?
Oh, I mean, just the sessions that I don't know, because I look at it and it's run by the same people that did the ESC stuff I've been to, and it just seems like the DesignCon is a much better fit for the stuff I like doing.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's ESC and the DesignCon's pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of the lectures and stuff like that. I usually don't have time to go to them often because you're too busy just walking around the thing. If you got two or 3 days there, then maybe. But because a lot of the lectures will just be companies introducing the thing, and you can just go online to look at their PowerPoint presentation later if you want to anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but they always seem to fill them up.
Oh yeah,
so
for sure.
I don't know. maybe people are just, sick and tired of walking around the the floor, so they say, it's a lecture on, I'll go watch that and sit down for a while.
I don't know. It's expensive. You got to pay a lot to go to those things. I mean, it can be upwards of a couple thousand. So.
Yeah, if your company doesn't sponsor it all for you, it's all optional.
Yeah.
Whereas to actually get into the trade show itself is only $10-15 if you have to pay. But then again, people don't pay because you can always get a free entry somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
If you ask somebody, so yep. Or you just turn up with a video camera and say, "Hey, I'm
media.
I'm with the press.
Yeah,
I'm media. Can I?"
That's how I did my first one. I said, I'm covering it. I'm a blogger, and they accepted that for some reason and gave me free pass, and I could get into whatever I wanted to. It was awesome. So you heard,
awesome, excellent.
It was great.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes. Have blog will travel. No, I was going to say have blog will travel, but that's stupid. No, have blog will is a free entry to to pretty much anything these days. Everyone can have a blog.
Yeah, it's true.
And become a media person.
Yeah.
Get a media tag. So, yeah.
Well, speaking of blogs and showing things off, how about some Workbench of the Week?
Workbench of the Week.
Workbench of the Week.
Had to get it in there. All right.
Bit late with the cue there.
I know, look at that. And then horrible.
What the hell are those frogs?
Those were crickets.
Are they frogs?
Those were crickets. I'm trying to set
crickets.
up. I need a new setup, I think. This is horrible.
Oh, dude. This is embarrassing.
I know. That the crickets are apropos then, huh? It's like...
I get heaps of crickets here. You'll hear them in the background of my video.
Yeah.
They're up in the gutters and stuff like that. So if it's been raining the night before or something like that, they usually come out, especially if I shoot one in the morning. So you can still hear the crickets and the kookaburras.
Shoot a cricket. I was like, why are you shooting crickets, Dave? That's horrible. and good accuracy, too, I'm sure. Like if you're shooting crickets.
And they just jump through the lab and they jump all through the house, and we just don't mind the crickets at all.
Yeah.
It's all part of being in Australia.
Yeah, they're pretty nice little creatures. I don't mind crickets as much.
Oh, they can be annoying if they just go all night.
Yeah.
I actually got an idea for a project just to shut them up because they're really loud if they're right next to the bedroom, and you're trying to sleep and they're just going all night. They're actually based on vibration. If you bang the wall or something, they will shut up for a couple of minutes.
Really?
Yeah. Well, at least the ones here in Australia do. I don't know what ones you've got over there, but yeah, our ones, if you bang on the wall, boom, they will completely shut up instantly. So I got the idea of this little, it'll have a little micro in it, have a microphone, and it'll actually detect the sound of the cricket, and then it'll just turn like a little vibrator motor, and you sit it up there in the gutter or something. So every time they start chirping, it'll bang the gutter, and it'll shut them up.
Yeah.
So I don't know how practical that would be, but
or you could just get like a really low frequency like subwoofer and just always have that going. You'd eventually acclimate it to it.
Well, you wouldn't want to set it to the brown note, which is what, 18 hertz or 19 hertz or something?
Whatever it is.
Have you heard about the brown note?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Right. Apparently, if you don't know what it is, here we go. This could be a great segue into the name of today's episode, perhaps.
Oh, God.
The brown note.
The brown note.
Apparently, there's research that's been done that if you subject the human body to like 18 or 19 hertz, I think it is, don't quote me on that, high-level audio energy, it will actually make you, well, quite frankly, shit your pants. And and that's why they call it the brown note. I think it was research was done during the war or something as like a sonic, you always hear about those sonic weapons, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And apparently I don't know if they work or not, but they can actually have an effect on people. So
yeah, it says
apparently
Wikipedia says between 5 and 9 hertz.
Oh, 5 and 9. There you go.
But it's got to be high vibration, and basically
it's got to be high energy. Yeah,
it's creating a resonance with your body that kind of shakes things loose.
Brilliant. Oh, I love it.
Oh, man.
So if you see a weird name for today's episode, that's what it is.
Yeah. There's a brilliant South Park episode about that too. It's really funny.
Right. I think Jamie and Adam did it on Mythbusters
Did
once
they?
as well.
Oh, great. Oh, man.
Yes.
I'll have to try and find some links for that.
I think. Speaking of which, Mythbusters, I believe Grant Imahara on Twitter mentioned the 555 timer
He did.
contest.
Yeah, he did. Man, we're...
Yeah, he did. Yeah. There you go. Hey, Grant, if you listen, I'm sure he's listening.
Oh,
come on, Grant.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Give us a shout out. Come and join the show sometime.
Yeah,
Right. No.
Yeah, it's cool. He
probably
talked
not
about it,
gonna
though.
happen. He's too busy. Yeah.
Apparently, Jerry met him a couple times or something, so he follows her. You know.
Right.
You know, Jerry's all famous and stuff.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right.
And she lives on the western seaboard.
And they're like all friends out there, right? I mean, everybody knows each other.
Yeah, you're on the wrong side of the country, dude.
I'm in the middle.
Like, there's just kind of. No, but you're more to the. You're kinder to the east, aren't you?
Yeah. Eastish.
Yeah, you're not actually smack in the center.
No, that'd be like Kansas. Good God.
Right. Yeah, that's what I figured. Oh boy.
Sorry to
So
Kansans.
yeah, you're just on the wrong side of the country. Nothing happens out there,
Thanks, Dave.
does it?
I don't know. You should come visit.
Sorry.
You should come visit, man.
Right. Oh boy.
All right. Workplace.
Well, I was going to in May.
What?
Anyway.
Yeah.
But no.
Workbench.
Anyway.
Workbench. Let's talk about the next
workbench of the week.
The next famous
Here we go.
people.
We actually had 4 of them, but I think one came in late, so we'll only mention 3, I think, and we'll go through them quick. So here we go. First up, William.
William. Yeah. And actually,
William from Hackers Workbench.
right. And we've actually linked. We've talked about William before because he was one of the first people to link to us, I believe. So he's got a pretty.
Oh, that's right.
He's got a good setup here.
Yep.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I like it too. It's very nice. It's sort of in the corner of the room. It's got a standard bench and another one next to it, kind of like an L-shaped thing. And I love that he doesn't have a DSO. He's got an old Heathkit, 5 megahertz Heathkit, and a 35 megahertz Philips analog scope. And that looks like a Philips. Yep, it is a Philips counter timer. And he's got a Cronheit brand sweep generator up to 30 meg.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And there he is, giving the big thumbs up. He's a young fella.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm very afraid of William. If he's doing this much stuff when he's in high school, he's going to be a rock star someday. It seems like he already...
Come on, weren't you?
No.
God, I was.
Not me. I only...
Oh, dude, you started late.
I did.
Man.
I was a late bloomer.
I had my own workshop when I was 8.
I know. Well, whatever.
Yep. You young whippersnappers.
I know. Yeah.
That's great.
But, yeah, so great bench. Really, really kick-ass pictures, too. So check that out.
Yep. And he's got a Fluke 289, an X-Tech.
Yeah.
330, Weller iron, and he's got a toaster oven.
I like the
so
toaster.
He obviously does some...
Yeah.
Yeah, he does some surface mount stuff, apparently. So, awesome. Thanks for that, William.
Yeah.
Next.
Laurence White.
Laurence. G'day, Laurence. He's from Quebec, Canada.
Canadian.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love Canada.
I do
Sorry,
too.
it's better than the US.
No, that's okay. I used to live right next to Canada. I'm from
awesome.
Buffalo. So,
Yep.
as soon as I turned 19, that was just like I was there every weekend.
Oh, right. Okay. Just get the hell out of the US, huh?
Yeah.
You guys don't need a passport to go to Canada, do you?
We never did before, but now they just turned that on. They just started doing that. So.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of stinks actually, but whatever.
Right.
I've been there.
Hey, can I mention something I tweeted the other day? It's another US rant. I haven't had a US rant for a while. Should I?
Hold on.
Rant.
There we go.
What is that? All right, rant time. Here we go. I tweeted this, and it is more US reactionary bullshit. It's been around for a long time, so it's nothing new. The US, any mail that you send to the US government in Washington or to a congressperson or something like that gets absolutely nuked. It gets neutered. And
what do you mean?
By high energy shit. Which changes its molecular structure and everything. Most electronics can be ruined. Food gets sterilized and ruined. Plastics, their film gets exposed, chips get ruined. They even say you can't even send a pair of glasses through. Your glasses will be ruined. As in your eyeglasses.
What are you sending to senators, Dave?
Well, I don't know, but I'm sure because this comes around from the original anthrax scare, which
Right.
was way back, I don't know, 2003 or something like that.
Yeah, it was.
And so, of course, they decided, let's just nuke every bit of mail that comes into Washington. And you can't send anything to anyone to Washington without them having nuke it. And this is the bit I hate, is that they actually say on the FDA website that they have no idea what the health effects of this stuff are and what this thing is, because it changes the molecular structure of everything that it nukes. And apparently there's many workers, government workers, who have been getting sick from it. They've been getting rashes and getting all sorts of illnesses from handling this mail after it's been nuked. And it's like, goodness sake.
So are you sending...
Only in America.
Are you sending cupcakes to U.S. senators, Dave? I don't think...
I'm sending cupcakes, yeah.
Greetings from the EEV blog. Enjoy this red
But
velvet
it's crazy.
cupcake.
Anyway, it ruins electronics, apparently. It nukes electronics, and that's what made me think of it. Anyway, let's not go there. Anyway,
that was an
that's
interesting rant, I got to
rant.
say, yeah, because
Yeah.
I don't know what you're sending to
Yeah.
senators, Dave, but...
I don't know. But I just,
Hey, check out my circuit. Check it out. I'll send it to you.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they admit on their own site that it is, they don't know what the health effects are. They're unknown. And then they also admit that there's several workers suing them or something for health effects. And it's like, well, bloody stop doing it. Goodness sake. You Yanks are crazy.
Yeah, we are pretty crazy.
Anyway. That's my rant over with.
Okay.
Sorry, that one just popped in
Yeah,
there.
that did
I
pop
don't
in
know
there.
why.
That was vehement and
Yeah,
interesting.
you weren't aware that one was coming.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Anyway, haven't had one for a while. Next up,
Yeah.
we've got
It's
Laurence White.
Yeah.
Oh, geez,
It's a-
millions of photos.
Good photos, though. Huge workshop. Huge.
Huge workshop. It's big. It's got component trays everywhere.
Yeah.
Lots of things hanging up on the pegboard and stuff like that. He's got a mechanical bench with a vise and et cetera, and it looks quite nice.
And the bench's occupant. Don't
Well,
forget
wait-
that. That's important, too. He,
Where's it? Oh,
couple
there he is.
pictures
Give
in,
him the
yeah.
thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yep,
That
absolutely.
seems to be the de facto pose now. I like it. I think that's
It is given the thumbs up.
Yeah.
Excellent. Has he got the? I think he's got the amp hour on the screen.
He does.
There.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. That's
He
great.
does. Brilliant.
That's
Thanks,
great. That
Laurence.
looks like a really nice workshop. I like that a lot. I like the
Yep.
old school CRT televisions too.
Right.
Maybe he's building his own scopes.
Televisions in. Oh, there is a television up top.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's got CRT monitors too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely. Awesome.
All right, and one last one.
Next up, Mr. J.
Mr. J.
Cool name.
Yeah.
Mr. J. I should call myself Mr. J. There you go.
You can't do Dr. J though. That's the
Right.
basketball.
Okay. Right. No, sorry.
Yeah.
Zoom.
Right.
Straight over my head.
Right,
Yep.
right.
No.
So he's a teacher at a vocational school, and he plays us for his students. And I'd like to apologize for our language in advance. But
Yeah. Sorry, kids. Yeah.
it's all right.
Don't
I'm sure they're probably some cool kids if they're listening, right?
do as we say, not as we do.
There it is. There it is.
I can't believe he shows my videos. To the
that's great,
student.
man.
I'm sure he picks and chooses.
Yeah.
I'm sure he doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm sure they don't watch every week's video.
That's
you
great.
know, the rants and stuff like that. So
Yeah, that's great though. He sent in a picture of his bench too. Pretty good setup. Couple of flukes, couple of irons, and nice shelf setup too. I don't know if we're seeing more shelves because of your video, Dave, or if it's just these are already there and now they're all getting sent in. But it's a nice setup.
don't know.
I like it.
Excellent. Well done.
And
that's it. We'll save Snakebite for next week, shall we?
yeah,
There you
and
go.
we'll post all the links on the site, of course, and they're always sitting there on the Workbench of the Week page, so that they're there statically, so that people can always check them out later if they want to. So if it's not on the front
Cool.
page. Yeah. All right.
Thanks, everyone.
That's it.
Let's get on to something else. What do we got?
Not bad. Only 20 minutes in. All right. We'll get some shout-outs real quick. Man, a couple more. All right, so first off is Dino Segovis, and he linked here from his site too. We always like that, so thank you, Dino. And it's
Thanks, Dano.
dinofab.com. I hope I'm saying it right. Not Dino. I think it's Dino. But yeah, pretty cool site. Couple cool projects on there. And the other shout-out is for Make. They have a new live show. I don't know if you saw that.
I watched it. It popped up on my feed so I jumped over to it.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember that these things are on, because I don't have a calendar. I've mentioned before.
Right,
it's just
right.
life's too hard,
Right.
And it actually popped up on the tweet, and I went, oh, I'll go check that out.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Sure enough, and then it was all over before I knew it. It only went for 30 minutes. What's going on there?
I thought it was only 15, actually.
15, was it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Oh, I thought it was 30.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it was very short. It was incredibly well produced, though. They had multiple camera angles, and they actually had, I think, at least two people actually behind the scenes, making controlling everything in the cameras and the feed and everything, and making sure it all works. And it was all very, very professional and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it was too short. I think everyone was very surprised by how long it was.
Yeah, well.
Or the lack of length, I guess.
Was it it was live, though, right?
It was live, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was amazing how they could, transition all the shots in everything live. It's like they had actually rehearsed it or something. So it was very well done. My hat's off to them, for sure. And I'm sure they've got it recorded so you can
Go back
so
and
you
watch
can
it.
play it back and stuff. Yeah.
That's cool.
So well done.
Yeah. I actually saw another one from Make that someone on Reddit had posted it from a while ago. But there's actually, Make has a different one with, like, I'm not sure how old she is, but she looks like she's maybe like 8 or 9. And it's this
Right.
young girl who's doing this show she does one on Arduino, one on like a couple of the kits that they sell and stuff.
Really? She's actually doing a video show?
Yeah, it's her and her father. I think their father like sets up the shots and stuff, but she's actually the one on camera. It's called the Super Awesome Sylvia Show, and like you look at it from like a perspective of showing that to other kids, and like that's gonna have some. I think that has some real traction. I mean, I don't know.
It does. That's huge. That's awesome. Good on them.
Yeah, and she sings the theme song, which is a little.
Right. Very.
But that's okay, because
Right. No,
let's be
that's cool.
honest.
That's cool.
I made our theme song, and it's not that great. But seriously, it's really. I mean, like it's really good. I mean, like even the descriptions that they. I mean, like how they're explaining signals. Like how do you explain signals to other like 8 or 9 year olds, right? How do you?
Yeah, I know.
And like they do it really well, and it's just really well done. So. I hope that.
Wow, I'm going to have to check this out.
Yeah,
the Super Awesome Sylvia Show.
Yeah, is that it?
Oh.
Yeah, Super Awesome Sylvia. So she's got a channel and stuff. But the only thing is, I haven't seen there wasn't a video for the past 4 months or so. So I don't know if they stopped doing it or if they moved on to something else, or maybe she's getting.
Oh, that'd be a shame.
I mean, maybe she's getting a real TV show. Who knows? I mean, that would be the best thing, right? I mean, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
that'd be awesome.
I mean, that'd be great to put on like a public broadcasting kind of thing or something like that. But
Yep.
I don't know. Very, very well done, though. So hats off to them. Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's quite common for, shows to start out. People start out with all this enthusiasm and then just, die off.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, either because they don't get the audience they expect or something like that, or, they just don't enjoy it anymore, or they've just found something else to do.
Yeah.
And,
Sometimes life just gets in the way.
But life's a bitch, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. Hate it when life gets in the way.
I know. What's up with that?
That's all right. I'm going to win Lotto this week, and I'm going to have all the free
Lotto.
time in the world I can possibly imagine.
Lotto is a tax for people who can't do statistics.
Right, you think? No, sorry. People win it. There's 5, people who win it every week. Why can't I be one of them?
Because of statistics, you can be. You just probably won't.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the attraction of it. Someone at my work won it once.
How much for though?
Oh, it was I think it was a $2 million draw, and they got $1 million out of it or something.
Really? That's
So yeah.
all right. Well,
Yeah, they were only one of a couple of winners, so yep. But knowing my luck, I'd win the damn thing, and it's $1 million draw, and there's 20 other winners or something like that. Yeah.
do you really play Lotto
Yeah.
every week, Dave?
Yes, I do.
Really?
Yep.
See,
I
would've-
get the minimum number of games in every draw. That's my strategy. That you have to be in it to win it, right? It's a strategy.
That is not
you
a
pay
strategy.
the minimum amount, and
That's still. Come on, Dave. Statistics. How are you an engineer and then you're playing that every week? Is it just like the hoping to break
because
out?
I understand that people do win it, and you have to be in it to win it, and it's good knowing the whole most of the thrill of it comes knowing that you're actually in it, and one day you might actually win it. attraction to it. You know, you get these people, you know, these idiots going out and spending, you know, $100 a week on it. That's just crazy, right? I just get the minimum number of games in each, because I think we've got like 4 different draws here in Australia. So I just get, you know, I spend the minimum on each one so that I'm in each one.
Okay.
And, well, God damn it, I'm going to win it someday.
So you spend...
Yeah, I know the odds. I've done the stats.
Okay.
But I don't care.
Okay, there it is. It's the entertainment value, right? It's not the...
Well, yeah.
'cause
I mean, I won't go and play poker machines, right? Poker machines, you know, they're engineered to lose.
Right.
Right? They aren't just
so
random.
Is the lotto.
Well, no, but at least the lotto is random, right? It's not engineered to lose. For you to lose. The poker machines are actually engineered so that they will only pay out less than 100%.
Uh-huh.
The longer you play them, the more you will lose. It's, you know, it's guaranteed.
That's true.
It's programmed into them. It's government regulated.
Yes.
That they be, you know, actually crippled like that.
Oh.
So, yeah, you know. Whew.
Dave, I have to say, tiny little notch you went down in my book. I got to say, Lotto is my thing. I don't know. I don't want to start anything on here. I'm sure there's going to be some people to talk about on the comments too, but because some people just love that stuff. But statistics, man, not worth it.
I don't know how you can understand that there is an intrinsic pleasure in knowing that one day you might be able to stick it to the man, you know, because you won Lotto.
Yeah.
It's a great dream, especially you haven't worked in the cubicle for long enough.
Oh, maybe
when you
that's
work
it.
in the cubicle for long enough, that's it, I think.
Maybe that is. I don't know.
And that you just, you know, one day, God damn it, I'm going to do it.
You know, and I've seen that too, like, because, you know, a lot of workplaces do Lotto stuff, like they band together when there's big jackpots, whatever. And, like, it seems like the people that are a little older are a little more excited about it. I don't know. Maybe it's just the hope.
I think that's the thing, yep.
Kind of like the...
Although I've been doing it since I was 18, so ever since I could start, so yeah.
I'd like to see, I don't know if you'd like to see, I'd like to see how much money you spent over the course of your lifetime and how much you project you'll spend over the course of your lifetime. And
I actually did the numbers on it once, and I can't remember what it was, and I know it's significant, but I think I'm buying a little sense of satisfaction every week. See, you know, that's what I'm buying.
Well, what if you just bought a little sense of a stock, though, and then it grew? I mean, like, what if you bought, you know, like linear tech stock or analog devices stock, you know, like over the course of time? There's not going to be
some huge payout at the end. There's not going to be that instant...
I guess...
There's not going to be that, you know, that hope of that instant satisfaction. Of sticking it to the man. It's the dream.
It's the dream. Okay. You know? You're paying for the dream. I get it.
Yep, I'm paying for the dream. That's what you're paying for. You're paying for the dream. And I perfectly understand the odds. I've done the math many times.
All right. Oh, yes. That is some good stuff. I'm bringing that up again sometime.
Right. Okay. Well, you won't be laughing when I win it, dude.
I will not. You know what? I'll be right there slapping you on the back, and because I'm guessing you're going to come visit Ohio at that point. You got that money, right?
Right.
Where are you going? I'm going to Ohio.
I'll come and do the live show. The show live in your basement.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. Speaking of things we've talked about before, how's that for a segue? There is new research out of Georgia Institute of Technology about plastic transistors. They came up with a new method for making them, and you know what that means?
No.
Oh yeah.
Not the printing machine,
yes,
dude.
Yes. Not. They're talking about, you know, like the things we think about, like RFID kind of stuff, like very macro feature kind of printed stuff. But they've kind of cleared a potential hurdle. There's an EE Times article about it, and I'll link it in the show notes. But yeah.
Well, that makes it real. It's on EE Times, you know.
No, but there's been published papers. I mean, you're right. It's not even close to production yet, but that's a good sign.
And even if it was in production, you're still missing the point. There's no point to it having your own chip making machine. Man,
I'm not saying about my own.
Hanging on about this.
I'm not saying.
When are you going to admit defeat?
Never. I'll stop. I'll admit defeat when you stop playing the lotto. How about that?
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good. I don't know. I think it's good though. Because plastic transistors have other.
Oh, it's great.
Other benefits such as like not green applications, but just lower waste kind of stuff. If you start moving towards organic type things as well, you can get more biodegradable chips and such. So I think it's a good thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And even like thin film, not thin film, but like very thin profile stuff. So if you can print, I guess it is printing again. But if you could print plastic transistors onto a substrate, you could put it on, like an OLED screen or like a flexible screen rather.
Oh,
You can do a lot of different things like that. So
Yeah.
in that regard, I think it's very good. Not necessarily in your basement printing your own transistors like we all want to think about, but
Thank you very
yeah.
much. But yeah, I agree. Yeah, in 10, 20 years' time, we'll have flexible circuits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Flexible substrates.
Yeah, and they make
They can be integrated into whatever.
Yeah, I've seen
imagination
some
can
now.
come up
I've
with.
seen a flexible substrate before, and my friend was working on a product that had it, but it is expensive, like really expensive.
As in a flex board.
Yeah. I guess it was. It was like
Right.
tiny
Yeah.
boards
It's
and then like a
right.
flex connector
Yeah.
all the way through it, and that's a good
Yeah,
start.
yeah. I've worked on those before.
You have?
Yep.
Do they actually
Yeah.
have the components mounted right on the flex board?
They have the components mounted right on the flex. Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. You can do that. Open up even cameras from 20 years ago had flex
Oh, really?
boards in them. Yeah, they would actually have the components mounted directly on the flex. It's not new technology. It's many decades old. You open up an old Polaroid camera from 1970, 1980, you'll find flex
Yeah.
boards in there, or flex a flexible membrane thing, and they might have a couple of components mounted on there because that's the only way to package electronics inside these sorts of products, these sorts of
kinda
consumer
to get around
products.
corners
So,
and such.
to actually meet the form factors. Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
That's true.
So, yeah, nothing new there. But yeah, I'm talking about flexible die. Flexible actual circuit, not hard, rigid components mounted on flex, which is what we're at the moment.
Right.
Really.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a couple other follow-ups here about not printing, but about laser cutting. We talked about laser cutting of boards, basically. So you would have like a substrate, and then you'd cut out, instead of actually etching, you would cut it with a laser, that kind of thing. And a couple people wrote in about it. Chris and Dallas on Twitter linked to a wiki page that already has it, actually, and it's called
Right.
P-beam, so proton beam writing, and that's actually a much smaller, instead of it's not necessarily board level. I think you can do it actually for chip level in that case, but that's a very new technology. And
Right.
but I don't think that's very close yet, because right now they can do. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, and it only costs £80,000, which is what, $1 million American
Well, that's
greenbacks?
That's a different one, actually. So the laser cutter that's 80,000 pounds, that's actually a
Oh,
board level.
right.
That's a board level etcher. So like,
Oh, it is. That's the LPKF branded
yes.
one.
Have you
Right.
ever seen one of those?
Yep. I've seen them in action. Yep.
Yeah. And so that
At the trade shows and stuff. They're very cool.
yeah. So that would be so if you're listening at home, the LPKF one would be like. That'd be like if you had like a board cutter where you're actually routing out copper board with like a drill bit right now. Now instead there's a laser based one where you cut out the copper board or cut out the FR4 kind of stuff with the laser instead of with a drill a routing bit. So that's kind of the difference.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think
Why is it so expensive? I guess the laser has to be 100 watts or something, does it?
yeah, pretty.
Well, it's a physically big looking machine, but I don't understand. It's an XY motor with a laser mounted on it. I mean,
Yeah,
shit.
maybe-
It
it might just be a supply and demand kind of thing because there's not many out there, and
right.
you can get some nice cuts with it. So that's good. I mean, you can cut some smaller traces. Because right now, I mean, routing. I think if you route a board, with like a routing bit, the one that I've used, and I'm not saying that this is the top of the line. The smallest line width was 12 mils, and mils in this case being
Oh no, that's
1,000.
nowhere near. Most of your good ones will go down to 5
Right.
thou or something like that.
okay.
So
And me and Dave
Yep.
saying mil and thou being the same thing. So he's saying
a
thousandth
mil,
thousandth of an
I
inch.
use mil for millimeters. And,
Right.
Yep. Thou for.
Right, but I
yeah,
say
it's confusing.
mil for
But a mil is a thou.
it's
Or are
dumb.
you talking millimeters?
No, I'm saying
No, you're not, because
1,000th
12
of an inch.
millimeters is one hell of a trace, right?
Right. Yeah. That
So you must be talking thou.
yeah. So it's I say mil and I mean thou, but
Right.
we've talked
Yep.
about that before and how confusing it is. So
It is
Yeah.
bloody annoying.
yeah.
Yeah, and I slip up occasionally and, say mil when I actually mean thou, and, I don't know.
Yeah.
Old habits die hard.
Right. And there was
But they're very cool, but I don't know why it's so expensive. The lasers probably has to be liquid cooled or something. It's that
Right.
hot or something like that, perhaps.
and there
I
is
don't know.
always the precision you need too. I mean, like if you if you think about it, like, so say you have like even a laser pointer, and you're standing on a ladder, and you're trying to trace something out on the ground, you need much more you need that distance in order to focus the beam or whatever, and be able to get the entire.
Oh, well, no, but a laser's inherently focused already. So it looks like it's only, a few inches above the board. And they use an XY stepper motor by the looks of things, I think. So I don't see why it would be so expensive to get the precision there. It's not like they've got a fixed. I don't think they've got a fixed laser beam and they're actually deflecting the laser or something like that. I think they just move the laser around on XY, and that's cheap as chips.
Or just
and you can get down to incredible resolutions.
Or just move the platform around on the XY.
Or you just move the platform.
Yeah.
Same thing. So, and that's trivial. Shit, they do it in a $500 MakerBot.
Yeah,
that's
true.
I mean, it's
maybe it's the speed of it
easy.
too, because if it's fast, maybe that's it. But
yeah, but still, it doesn't cost 80,000.
yeah, 80,000 pounds is that's a lot of
pounds.
€10.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pounds, right? Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. And there was one other feedback about that too. Cherish from cherishthescientist.net, she had written about the chemicals basically, and that there's a lot more research into this kind of thing with the P beam and the laser cutting and that kind of thing, because right now the way you do it is very similar to etching a semiconductor. You have a photoresist kind of material, either a positive or negative resist. You expose that, and then whatever's left showing, you etch that away. And since you're etching copper, that's some nasty stuff. And places in China and other places, they'll just kind of dump those nasty chemicals, and that can do some bad stuff. Yeah.
Well, as I've mentioned before, ferric chloride, one of the chemicals that goes into our water system here in Sydney. Ferric chloride is actually used to clean out the pipes.
Oh yeah.
In our water system, it's probably in other countries too.
Yeah.
So all the people worried about tossing, ferric chloride down the drain. It's like, well, the actual water company already does it by the ton.
Yeah.
So yeah, but then you've got the copper as well, which goes
Right.
in there, and that does all sorts of nasty shit. So I'm not encouraging tipping it down the drain. I never used to tip it down the drain. I used to always go out to the back garden and actually dump it out there. So yeah, that's not good
there.
either. But I guess it's the lesser of two evils, right?
Yeah. I always wonder about that kind of chemical. Like they always say to take it somewhere or something like that, and it's tough, man. With chemicals can be dicey to get rid of. I mean,
oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if I quite endorse the garden dumping method. You might have some funny tasting tomatoes.
I think it's better than putting it down the drain at least. So
yeah, maybe.
But yeah, if you can, you should actually bottle it up and then take it to a proper chemical recycling.
Yeah,
like we have that. I think once a year or something. The council puts on a chemical recycling thing. So people turn up with a trunk load full of.
God help them if they ever have a car crash on the way over.
I'm using US speak there.
What do you say?
There you go.
The
trunk.
What do you say?
It's actually a boot here in
boot,
Australia.
That's right. I've heard that before.
A boot. Yeah.
Trunk.
Don't know what possessed me to say trunk. I was in an American frame of mind.
The conversion is starting. Right.
Not a chance.
Yeah. Did you ever? Do you still etch boards at all, or you just send them out?
No, I just send them out these days. I don't etch boards. I've still got a ton of the chemicals and the blank board, the blank photoresist boards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But no, haven't done it for years.
Yeah, it's kind of. It's good to know the process, but it does seem for the cost. I mean, like the PCB service we've mentioned before, the one that Lane does out of the PDX Portland or whatever it is. Or Portland Dorkbot, that's it. Sorry, Dorkbot PDX. So Lane runs that out of there, and it's like $7 for a couple boards or something like that. So, I mean, if you're doing the bundling thing, you can. I don't know, time wise, it's definitely worth it.
Well, my projects are all they're either too complex to make yourself. It's just they're double sided or they're multi-layer or they're or I need the solder mask because I'm using it as a front panel with the silk screen and everything else, and
doing boards. You get spoiled with solder masks too because
I know.
You can just throw some flux on there and the solder flows so nice and it just gets where it's supposed to, and Oh,
Yeah.
man. Someone actually...
I know. It's worth the extra cost.
Someone asked me on... I forget who it was. I think Mike Cowgill. He asked me on Twitter if one of my relatives did a video on YouTube about soldering and or soldering.
Thank you.
Yeah. But it's actually a really great video. It's kind of like awkward at the beginning, like because it's just the guy talking. But when he actually gets into it and shows how he's doing it, it's like really slick. He's doing like some fine pitch parts, and his method is just really smooth. It's impressive to watch. I'm going to try out some of those methods next time I'm doing a flat pack or anything like that.
Yeah. People keep asking me to do a soldering tutorial video and all of that. I don't know. There's so many out there.
There are a lot, yeah.
It's just, every man and his dog's doing one, but I don't know. Maybe one day, but...
This one's good. I'll definitely link this one at least. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, do it.
Yeah. And the guy's name's Gamble, but no relation. It's just a Scottish last name.
Oh, Scottish, is it?
Yeah.
There you go. Have you actually checked in the phone book? Are there many Gambles?
Not around here, but yeah, over the country there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you can imagine how many Joneses there are
right.
in a phone book. It's like more chins than a Chinese phone book, as they say.
Quick question though, what is a phone book?
A phone book?
I'm kidding. I know what a phone book is, but
goodness.
I mean, like
Right,
honestly, do you
you
use
young
phone books
whippersnapper.
anymore? Right now, they're just things that sit on my front porch and get soggy.
There's one currently sitting on in my front porch. Yep.
Yep, exactly.
So,
I mean, like they're very outmoded.
I know.
They're outmoded.
How many trees die to make those phone books?
I know.
I guess there's people who don't have the internet. I guess.
I guess so, but couldn't they just call up and ask for them? I don't know.
Yeah, but they charge for that here in Australia. It's like a couple of bucks to phone up and get connected. To find
Oh, wow.
somebody. The service to find somebody. So anyway, we've got some news.
We do, yeah. I only saw this for a little bit, so can you explain it?
Okay. Is there a news sound effect?
Oh, let me check. There was a beep sound
It's
effect.
not that.
Wasn't it? No. No, not really. I had one for one for space.
This is ground control to Major Tom.
We haven't been talking about space much though, so I don't know.
Brilliant choice. One of my favorite songs.
Yeah, I like that one. Have you ever seen the video for that one?
Yes, and I've actually seen him do it live. He did a 12-minute version of it.
Oh, nice.
It was awesome.
For people who haven't seen the video, I'll post a link to this. Hopefully I'll be able to find the video on YouTube or something. But it's just like David Bowie in his funky makeup. And for you youngins out there, you need to listen to David Bowie because it's awesome. But it's just him like staring at the camera and singing out of like his lips aren't synced perfectly, and you can tell it's just like really early video. But then it keeps cutting back to like this oscilloscope, and it's like this hot technology at the time. It's just like a Tektronix oscilloscope or something like that. And then it cuts back to him, and then it cuts to a panel with this like 2-digit digital readout, and it's just like it's amazing to look at because you're like, what is this? But I'll post a link to it because it's really funny.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
And his real name, do you know what his real name is?
Dave Jones?
Dave Jones.
Is it really?
It is indeed.
Is it really?
It is.
I didn't know that.
It is.
That's great.
I know. It's brilliant.
Maybe the show episode could be called Bowie and a Brown Note.
Oh, goodness sake. Normally we talk about all this crap after we're finished. We try and decide what the name is. And as you probably noticed, we're going on like a Big Bang Theory kind of
it's fun to try and come up
thing
with.
at the moment. Bowie Brown Note. I love it. Was that his Ziggy Stardust stuff?
I don't know.
Did he do that as David Bowie or Ziggy Stardust?
I don't know.
Right. You young whippersnappers wouldn't know about Ziggy
Yeah,
Stardust.
right? Yeah.
Oh, boy. Anyway. News. Yes. Intel lost $700 million. Nothing unusual there.
Only $700 million.
It's just a drop in the ocean for them. But it's because they had a bug in one of their chips. Oops.
Boy.
Somebody screwed up and it cost them $700 million. Or that's what it's going to cost them.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Oh,
How do you go and
crazy. And they just,
Yeah, how do you go tell your boss about that? Mr. Jones, I found something I may have overlooked before. Oh, it's just, it's horrible.
Yeah, and it's going to cost us $700 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, I'm sure they don't know that when they say that, but I mean... I don't know.
Well, that raises an interest. That reminds me of the story. I'm not sure. I'm going to be talking out my ass here,
Oh,
but I
something
think
different.
it was Hewlett Packard or someone like that. It was some company back in the 70s, and the story goes that somebody, some engineering company, and they screwed up, and they cost the company, $100,000, which was a huge amount of money back then,
Right.
and then, the person went in and said, I've screwed up, I understand if you're going to fire me and all that sort of stuff. And they went, don't be stupid. I'm not going to fire you. I just spent $100,000 on your education. Why would I fire you?
Yeah.
It's
that sounds like a parable to me. That sounds like an urban myth.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I read it in some biography somewhere, so I think it was a story of somebody actually told it firsthand.
Yeah,
That's
that might have
what
been.
happened to
I think
them or
that might have been
something.
in Bill and Dave, that book I mentioned on here before. It sounds familiar, at least, but
It could be in Bill and Dave.
Yeah. I'll look it up. Yeah, but
Right. Yep. I don't know.
I-
Anyway, I read it decades ago.
that's a nice thing to think, but at the same time, it's like, at least maybe back then, at least these days, there's always going to be some kind of heads that have to roll, right? At least for like the shareholders, or someone has to take the blame. Someone has to be scapegoated.
It's not in companies I've worked at.
Really?
It's like, no, if there's no, it's just no one's, there's too many hands involved. No one's at fault. Nah, they just,
Yeah, but that's
just
when the
get swept under
CEO
the
steps
carpet
down and everything, and he gets the golden
only if
parachute and blah 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 blah
Only if
blah.
it's public enough,
Well, this is pretty
Most of these
public.
things are just swept under the carpet.
I was going to say, this is pretty public. I don't know.
But these sort of things happen. These chips are so complex that, there's so many people involved, no one's at fault. It's, the fault is diluted by the sheer number of people working on it.
I will agree with that, but I still think that we'll see a follow-up article to this about someone's
think?
head roll. Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
Here's a good question for you, though. Okay, so if you look at like people who talk about quality and like customer trust and all that other stuff, they always say there's like a really high cost. So say you send out a chip and it breaks, right? And your customers are so pissed and they're never going to buy from you again. And there's a definite cost associated with that where, okay, now you lose all
Which
this.
is almost impossible to measure, by the way.
Right, definitely very hard to measure. But at the same time, at what point, this is $700 million. Would it really be $700 million on the downside? Like, I mean, yes, there's a very bad quality side of things, but and that's probably the same analysis they did when they came out with this, and when they started deciding to do a recall or a rework or whatever. And that's kind of I'm just it's amazing to think that it could be more than $700 million, but
Yeah.
hopefully in this case it was, because that's a lot. That's a lot of friggin' money. Like,
I know, it's almost $1 billion.
Yeah.
It's just, for one tiny little quirk in one little chip. But here's a little rant. It's a WTF moment.
Oh.
Have you got a sound effect for WTF?
not yet.
Like, what the frig?
I'll
I've toned that down a tad.
yeah, that's good for all our school
Yep.
listeners out there.
Our school listeners
Yeah,
out there.
listen, safe for work. I don't have a sound effect. No, I'm out.
Okay.
I'm out.
Well, this is a WTF moment. Maybe we can have a WTF segment
Oh, maybe,
on the Amp
yeah.
Hour. I don't know. What do you think?
There's
Yeah.
a section on Reddit that I always look at, and there's some messed up stuff on there.
Well, there you go. Maybe we should have that. Yeah, the
Okay.
WTF of the week.
Okay.
Anyway, this is a quote from the article in EE Times or whatever it was. Yep. Quote, in some cases, the result is that the serial ATA ports within the chipsets may degrade over time. What the? They may degrade over time? What sort of fault is this?
Yeah,
That
I don't know.
Part of the chip degrades over time?
Yeah, like maybe it's a resistor that's getting overloaded or something, like some kind
No,
of.
but this is within the chip, right? You think that
Well, yeah,
it
you
would
can
have
have
been fully
resistors on a chip.
characterized over, is it an actual design issue or is it a manufacturing fault that is somehow contaminated the die? I don't know. That makes it, but yeah, it degrades over time.
I mean, I could see like if you had a lot of heat going through that. So like, say they didn't do the right power
It must
budget,
be something like that.
and then
Yep.
it's like halt testing. You ever heard of that before? High.
Yep.
accelerated life testing or whatever that is.
High accelerated, yep,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, so it's the same kind of thing. If you heat something up, it's going to fail faster. And same thing, just like
Yeah.
we talked about with CFL bulbs. If the components inside get heated up, well, by hanging it upside down, it's going to fail faster. Same kind of thing, right? So maybe that's here.
Absolutely.
Maybe they didn't do the right kind of power budget.
Maybe that's possibly it. But it degrades, so it's like its performance gets worse. I mean, well, serial ATA is very tricky.
Yeah, that's
business.
speedy.
It's
That's really
high
speedy.
speed differential shit, and I've
Yeah.
done that, and I've measured error rates. I've designed serial HDMI
yeah.
stuff, which is very similar, and you measure the error rates.
Like a eye diagram
on it,
kind of thing?
and you're down in, one bit error per, so I think maybe that's what they're talking, that the performance actually degrades over time.
Like you get more errors.
That's where, I don't know about the time part, but I can figure where the performance actually degrades
Yeah.
because it's, you get a higher bit error rate or something.
Yeah.
But why it's doing it over time? Yeah, must be heat related. Can anyone think of anything else? I don't know. Leave a comment.
Yeah, leave a comment for sure. Because, I mean...
I just read that and went, what the?
Yeah, so we might have to have a new section. I don't know. A new segment of the show. The WTF. Do you ever... Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, dear Eddie.
Can you say WTF, mate?
WTF, mate?
So there's this
You're going to sample that, are you?
yeah, oh well, maybe, I don't know. There's this video on the internet that uses that a lot. Maybe that'll be the sound effect. I'll try and link that in or get it or something. It's
Oh,
a great video.
Anyway, here's another thing I wanted
Thing.
to no, hang on. No, I'm all over the list here.
All over the list.
Here's some more news. Let's go to some more news, shall we?
Okay.
NI have stated in their press release, financial reports or whatever, that they're going to increase, not decrease, increase their R&D headcount by 19% this year.
Yes.
And I just thought, I can't remember the last time, well, I can't remember another time that I've heard a company actually state up front that they're going to increase their headcount by X percentage during a year. I'm so used to hearing, we'll spend
Cutting and...
an extra $5 million on R&D, but they don't say what. Is it equipment, capital expenditure?
Right.
But they're actually specifically mention headcount.
Well,
As if,
that's a
they're
sign,
making a conscious decision to hire more people, regardless of the cost to them. So I think that's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's
And the shareholders can hold them to that. Look, you haven't hired, 19% more people in R&D.
I think it's more of a looking for, kind of like a, hey, look how good we're doing kind of thing. If I was looking at that.
I think it is, and we're doing this to help the economy and yada yada,
Yeah.
Because there's massive unemployment in the US, isn't there? In the
some places, yeah.
I think, well, not massive, but it's not good.
Right.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's well, I don't know. Have you seen that? I saw you post this article, and I wanted to ask you about that because I've been seeing pickups too. I mean, more recruiters are cold calling and leaving me messages, and just I've seen things picking up, and this thing obviously shows it too. Have you been seeing that at all? Because I think that's a relevant
Not in
question.
Australia, because it hasn't dipped. Nothing in Australia. We avoided the global financial crisis.
What the hell, man?
Actually,
WTF, mate?
Effectively. Because we're good, right? You guys are nuts going down the gurgler, and we're just smart. So,
What?
sorry.
Oh, yeah, because the global crisis, definitely not the word global in there.
Right. No, we are, Australia, if you look at it, are one of only, we may be the only country, but don't quote me on that actually avoided going into recession due to the global financial crisis.
Huh.
It's true.
That's pretty great.
We're a lot of countries are trying to, look, well, what the hell did we do that, made us avoid the financial crisis? And it has lots to do with how we put in stimulus funding and how we've got 4-pillared bank system and all sorts of things like that. But, anyway, we have avoided it. So, no.
Well, anyways,
Sorry for anyone who's out of work because of the global financial crisis. But,
right, yeah.
Yeah, but no, that's why we have not seen any increase here because there was no decrease.
Yeah.
So,
well, I've seen it, and I've heard a couple other people saying it too. So,
yeah,
that's maybe it's an Ohio thing. I don't know, but Maybe Ohio's on the way up,
Right. It's all happening.
Yeah,
down in
that's right.
Ohio,
Yeah,
huh?
everyone's going to want to live here. Come on down.
Awesome.
We got lots of housing.
But
Yeah.
there you go. If you're after an R&D job, NI have
Yeah.
looks like they're gonna be hiring like crazy this year. 19%. I don't know how many people they've already got in R&D and how many that actually equates to, but
They're pretty big, yeah.
It's a pretty big increase. So
Yeah. Well, speaking of NI,
yeah,
they had
turn up on their doorstep.
analog devices.
They'll probably hire anyone, by the way, just to meet their quota.
Yeah. No, I mean, I know someone who interviewed there, and it was difficult, but
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
But with regards to NI, they paired up with analog devices. I just saw an article about this today for a new spice simulator, and they're saying, oh, it's the hottest new thing, but it's not the hottest. It's still a spice simulator, It's
Right. Yeah.
But
they've been around for ever.
It's free, and it is a pretty nice interface.
Oh, it's free, is it?
Yeah, and
Okay, so it's given LT Spice a run for its money.
exactly.
Is that the
exactly.
Ah?
Now there are a couple caveats there because one, it's bloated just like every other piece of NI software. It's gonna, it takes like
Of course.
half an hour to install. But when it's all
Absolutely.
installed, it's nice and pretty. And
It
does this.
works. Absolutely.
Right.
It works. Yeah.
So there's that, and then also there's a time restriction on it. So you open it up and it says, you have 300 days left. Well, me and a friend did a little bit of research, and if you set your computer clock date back, I don't know why they let this happen, but it works and it'll keep working. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
so there's that little trick.
Why have they put the time restriction on there? It's either free or it's not.
I don't know. I
Bloody
was
hell.
thinking maybe so they force people to update after a year, so they can push new parts. The thing to
Oh, right. There are. Well, that's okay. I don't mind that if it expires and then you go download the latest free version. That's
Yeah.
all right. But if it physically stops working and then you have no other, then you can't continue to use it. That's
right. Yeah,
in
I'm not
some
sure
form,
about
then
that
that's-
because it's not at that point
Yeah.
yet. But
I
I
don't
know
like
that one of the reasons Analog Devices is doing it because they wanted to push all their parts in there. They got all like the models. Now I don't know about you, but when I'm doing Spice, I don't really care about the specific op amp models and all that other stuff because it's kind of silly.
No, I'm
you know?
just doing a generic
Right.
thing usually. I'm
Right.
not actually simulating the exact part. So, yeah, it's not a big deal.
Right.
And that leads us into, speaking of free
free
and
We like
open
free.
source, Microchip.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of minutes left, so let's talk about this one, shall we?
Yeah.
Microchip charge, I think it's about $900 for their 32-bit C compiler, their top-of-the-range C compiler. Now,
Yeah.
everyone knows that it's actually free. It's open source.
So the
C
compiler is a GCC or what?
It's a GCC based, or it comes from something that's based on GCC
Okay.
or something like that. But it is technically open source, and you can download the full source code for it. And people have done instructions, and it's very trivial out there to just recompile it yourself, and you get the full functionality of the $900 version. Because on the Microchip website, they let you download the entry-level student version of it, which is the full compiler, except some of the optimizations are actually turned off.
Okay.
So, you can't optimize for speed or, extra memory space or something like that. But they have to, because it's open source, they have to provide the source code, and in the source code is effectively the instructions on how to bypass that. So there's nothing stopping people actually recompiling that and presumably distributing that compiled version on their website, avoiding the Microchip $900 charge is what they charge
it's like
for that precompiled version.
$900 lazy person charge. Like if you don't want
It's a $900 lazy person charge. Yep, that's pretty much what it is. And yeah, I can understand if it's $50 or something like that. You're paying for the convenience of them updating it and compiling it for you. But it's
nothing with like drivers or anything else. I mean, it's all there. Like,
well, that's one of the tricks. Apparently the Microchip libraries, the libraries for the UARTs and all the other,
like all the native stuff.
all that. So that's Microchip copyright. So you can't distribute that. That's not open source.
Yeah.
There's even a restriction in the use of it that you can't go and use it on some other competing part. So you can't take their library and go and compile it for an AppMel or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's free and open, but there are restrictions on what, they don't charge you for using it in your final product, but they do stipulate that it must be a microchip part it's used in. And technically you can't distribute that as the files. Only microchip can distribute that. So,
that's
but the source code, there you go.
That's really frustrating because I got a new dev board from TI, and it's a cool board. It's got some nice stuff on it, and then I go and I have to install the package and download this DVD's worth of crap that I don't need. And even then, I don't get a full license. I only get like the restricted license, so it's size limited or whatever.
Right.
It's just and I know
it's annoying.
You know what it makes me think? It makes me think,
What?
I want to go build something with a 555 because I don't need to deal with any of this crap. I mean, honestly, it's like,
yeah, I know. I mean, I've talked to the microchip CEO, Steve Sengi, and I actually asked him this.
Yeah.
And, about free tools and stuff. And his response was that, I'm paraphrasing here, but that they will refuse to make a loss on their tools. It is not a good business model. It's not sustainable. So therefore, they won't give their tools away for free because even though he's CEO, there seems to be pressure from elsewhere inside the company, the board of directors and all that sort of stuff, when the yearly report comes in and, we're spending, X $100 million, supporting all these development tools and they don't make a profit. What the? Let's cut that. So that's what he doesn't want. He doesn't want...
Wow.
He doesn't want the actual development group for the tools to get cut. So they have to make a nominal profit. Or at least earn their money.
Yeah,
but at least break even. So, which is a good strategy, and probably why microchip is still financially viable, and most other microcontroller companies are going down the toilet financially, I guess.
I don't follow the
you've got TI just giving these tools away like there's no tomorrow.
Well, some of them, not the ones that I need, obviously.
Right, obviously.
The ones that I care about aren't. I mean, like you still get you get a crippled version basically, which is it's an okay model. I'd prefer otherwise, but
I don't know if we've mentioned this before, but I reckon there's a bit of a war going on here between the manufacturers, the microcontroller manufacturers. If you read their yearly financial statements, which is always fun,
it's a good exercise.
It's very revealing. Actually, what they do is they highlight very prominently. This is quite a few that I've looked at. Highlight how many development tools they've shipped this year.
Yeah, we talked about that.
I'm sure we talked about it before. Oh yeah, we've shipped 100,000 development tools. Whoa, look how popular our product is. Yeah, they gave them away, and everyone, nobody actually uses them. They just want it because it's free.
Right.
So there's a bit of a war there going on about who can claim that they've shipped the most development kits and therefore is currently the most popular.
And we're going to have all these dev boards just sitting in drawers.
And sitting in drawers, I've got a box full of bloody dev boards, That's crazy.
They're not as bad as the switcher ones. I get a bunch of switcher boards whenever I'm doing a power design. Those things are,
right.
That's like one and done. It's just like you use it and then you're like, okay, well, I guess I have this monstrous board for this tiny little chip. Now what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What can you do? It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Anyway, our amp hour's up.
It is. And
no more capacity. Sorry, guys. We'd love to do a 2-hour show, but, I have to get to work.
Yeah, my chair's not comfortable enough either, so I'm sorry.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I need to get a new one still.
There you go. I change chairs. Normally I've got like a, nice tilt swivel chair and stuff like that, but, if I sit on it, it rattles, and I'm not sure if you can hear that, it squeaks and rattles and stuff like that. So I actually get out a nice fixed chair that doesn't. So when I shuffle around on the chair here, it doesn't make a noise and get picked up. It's good radio.
Good radio, yeah.
So
because that's what we're about here. Electronics be damned.
Even though we're not actually on the radio,
right? It's good.
We need to actually transmit.
Internet.
Yeah.
Someday.
No, it needs to get through the airwaves,
Yeah.
And not wireless, but old-fashioned analog modulation,
How about an AM signal? Nice clean AM signal there.
I prefer FM.
I do too.
I'm a bit more advanced. I've sort of moved on from AM.
All right. We need to stop this right now.
Do you know you can make an FM transmitter with one transistor?
I don't know about one. I've seen AM with one transistor. I don't know about FM.
Yep. Well, you probably need two because you need a transistor to actually amplify the microphone and stuff like that. But no, you can actually do it with a tank circuit and a single transistor. You betcha. Yeah, there you go. I'll leave that to for people as an experiment to go and find out how.
All right. Check back next week.
Thanks for joining us.
See you guys.